Let's begin with the feet hip width apart, just under the hip bones. We're just going to start with a big roll of the shoulders up to the ears, back towards the spine, and then down, up, back and down. And let's do a big inhale as we reach the shoulders up, and a long exhale to let the shoulders melt down. And then one more. And then releasing the arms down. Good, and then we draw the chin down to the chest, and we slowly start to peel the spine, bone by bone. We roll down completely until the hands get to the floor. Or remember that you can hold onto your legs if you need some support, and just a gentle rock from side to side. Relaxing the head down, top of the head reaching towards the floor. And then going back through the center, bending the two knees slightly and starting to roll up all the way. Last thing to come up is the head. We give the shoulders a big roll. Well done. And then we're going to start lying down on our back. So we're going to have the feet hip width apart and the arms pressing by the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the spine into neutral. So the tailbone is heavy. We have just a natural gap between the lower back and the mat. Without loosening that, we let the back of the rib cage sink a little more. In other words, we soften the chest a little. Just let that rib cage drop slightly. Shoulders nice and relaxed, and we're not squeezing the shoulder blades, we're just letting them rest flat on the floor. And we take a deep breath. As we exhale, we start to draw the navel back and draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up to the pelvis as the right leg lifts off the floor, and we bring it to a tabletop position. And then with that same control, releasing the foot back down. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, left leg comes up to tabletop. With control, nothing's going on the lower back. Everything's concentrated on that abdominal area and pelvis. And we keep alternating from side to side, just at your own pace. Making sure that there's no rocks of the pelvis back and forward. So we just maintain that curve of the lower back. And let's just do one more. And when we finish with the left leg, let's bring the foot back down. Let's bring the feet together this time. Arms pressing firmly. And then what we do is, again, we maintain that pelvis in neutral. So I'm just gonna ask you to think about holding a bowl of water on your pelvis, just in between your belly button and your pubic bone. And then without letting the water spill, you're gonna open your right hip, so your right knee is gonna go out to the side. The left leg stays stable, and then you draw it back in. Knees together, and then left leg, and all the way back up. So just warming up the abdominal area, and bringing a little more awareness to those pelvic floor muscles and deep core muscles. So an inhale as we open that knee to the side, and an exhale to bring it up. And let's do one more each side. Exhale, bring it up. And last one with the left. and bring it up. Well done. Okay, so let's hug the knees into the chest. Just a little rock from side to side. Good. And now let's grab the ball and place it in between the knees. Good, feet down on the floor. Hip distance apart. And we press the arms, the hands are in a straight line with the shoulders. Big breath in, then exhale to flatten the lower back. Nice and heavy on the heels, squeeze the glute muscles, lift the pelvis up all the way, making sure that we're in that pelvic tilt, tailbone drawing in between the two glutes, and then we roll down through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, and we go back to neutral. So that little gap on the lower back. Exhale, flattening the curve, and lifting up. And then exhale to roll down. So we do an inhale at the top before we roll down. We're going to start to gently squeeze the ball with the knees, just gently, to get a little more connection with the inner thighs as we keep doing this movement. Let's lift one more time after this one. Let's stay at the top on the next one. And let's take it into a hip hinge all the way down to tap the floor and squeeze and lift all the way up. Down, all the way up. We're still adding that gentle squeeze at the top. Of the ball. And let's do one more. And then roll down through the spine all the way. Very good. All right, so now as we lift the pelvis all the way up, we're gonna reach the arms up and overhead. And then we're gonna roll down all the way as we keep the arms overhead. Once the pelvis touches the floor, then the arms return to the bottom. Lifting the pelvis all the way up. Reach those arms up overhead and then roll down. Arms return. Big breath in. Exhale, lifting the pelvis. Reaching the arms overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, roll down. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale to lift. Lifting the arms overhead. And then rolling down. Very good. Okay, so now let's bring the hands behind the head. And then we add a little curl up here. And then releasing back down. Now each time we curl up, we're gonna squeeze the ball gently and we engage the pelvic floor muscles as well. As we draw the navel back to the spine as well. So all that's happening as we lift the chest and the head. Neck is relaxed. Nice and heavy on the hands. And no tension on the neck. Let's curl up on the next one and let's hold it. And a little pulse up and down as we squeeze the ball as well. 5 more. 3, 2, 1, and release all the way down. Very good. Let's bring the arms by the side and then lift the heels off the floor. So only the toes are on the floor for now. Engage your abdominals, make sure that your spine is in neutral. Now lift the 2 feet off the floor and bring the legs into a tabletop position. Good. Bringing the hands behind the head, curling up, and then again, all the way down, we lower, all the way up. Squeeze the ball as we curl up, and inhale down. Let's hold the next one up there and a little pause for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release all the way down. Slowly bringing the feet down. Good, and then just take the ball away, but just place it on the side for a moment. Let's hug the knees into the chest. A little rock. And now let's take it into a circle, forwards, side, and towards the chest. And then let's take it to the other side, other direction. Good. Let's place the feet down, and let's grab the ball and place it underneath the sacrum this time. Let's bring the right leg up to a tabletop position. And then from here, we're just gonna press into the left heel, maintaining the hip square, and squeezing the left glute muscles to lift the pelvis up off the ball, and then releasing the pelvis back down. So just let it rest on the ball, and then reset and start all over again, squeezing the glute muscles, lifting up, and down. Now, if you don't have any lower back pain and you're really feeling that on the right muscles, then you can just just gently touch the ball with the tailbone and then lift all the way up instead of resting. Nice and slow. Let's lift on the next one. Hold it. Extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Flexing the foot to lower the leg. And pointing the toes to lift up. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Last one. Good, and then drop the pelvis down. Keep the right leg straight. We have the last one here. Exhale to lift the pelvis up. Stay up there, and in a tiny pulse up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. Good, making sure that that right foot is right in front of the hip of the same side. Bringing the left leg up to tabletop, nice and heavy on the right heel to lift the pelvis. And then down. To the front hip bone square. And we keep going up and down, nice and slow with control. the next one, let's lift it up. Let's stay there, extending the left leg, flex the foot to lower the leg, point the toes, lift up. Last one. Good, relax the pelvis down. Keep the left leg straight, take a deep breath. Exhale to lift the pelvis up, and then a little pulse up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Perfect. All right. So, once we have the 2 feet down, we press them, we lift the pelvis up, we take the ball off there, and then slowly we roll down. Good, and let's straighten the 2 legs, give the body a stretch, as if we were just waking up in the morning. Very good. Okay, so let's pick up the right leg and squeeze towards your chest. And then we take it into a twist, reaching that leg across the body, and we twist to the right. Back to the center, give the leg a final squeeze, and then bring the left leg up. And reaching the leg across the body as we twist to the left. Back to the center. We give the leg a final squeeze, and then releasing the leg back down. Perfect. All right, so now let's return the 2 feet to hip distance, pretty close to the sit bones. We're gonna bring the hands behind the head, and we're gonna get a little more into the abdominals. So, hands behind, we lift the head and the chest. The 2 legs are gonna come to a tabletop position. We're gonna stay up there, and we take it into a toe tap. Right foot goes down, lift it up, left foot goes down, lift it up. And if you want to make it stronger, you can do both legs at the same time, making sure that there's no bulging on your stomach. So drawing the navel back and maintaining the pelvis in neutral. Good, once you're even through both sides, we're gonna stay up there, and then we're gonna take it into a crisscross, extending the opposite leg forwards, and then we swap. And all we care about is our thoracic spine twisting, not so much the elbow reaching to the knee. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1, and release and hug the knees into the chest, squeeze them. Good. Okay, so now bringing the 2 legs again back to tabletop, hands behind the head, and we curl up. Good. Now this time, extend the 2 legs up to the ceiling, and then the right leg is gonna go down. Now, if you don't have any neck issues, you're gonna hold on to that leg and pull yourself up a little more. You can absolutely have a bit of a bend on the knee if you need to, and then swap. If you have any neck issues, one hand can come behind the head. And it's not so much pulling the leg towards the chest, it's more of a pulling yourself up. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug the knees. Well done. Okay, we have one more, the last one. So, legs return to tabletop, hands behind the head, and we're curling up. Good, and now from here, we're just gonna take it to a little pulse. So we're squeezing the knees, we're just gonna pulse here, up and down, 10, 9, 8, little crunches, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here, take it into single leg extension, right leg forwards, bring it in, left leg forwards, bring it in, and if you want to make it stronger, both legs. And slowly we're going to start to even up. So finish extending your left leg forwards. And that's it. Hug the knees into the chest and a little rock. Very good. Okay. So let's just roll to the side and then push the floor with your hands to come up. All right, let's grab the ball again. This one again. And then come into a kneeling position. Knees a bit wider than the hip distance. And we have the ball in between the hands. Cool. And from there, we just gently tuck the tailbone and the arms are slightly rounded. And then what we do is we're just going to lean back, squeeze the ball, and then release back up. Down, squeeze, and back up. Good. The next time we come back up to the center, we hold, we're going to do 3 squeezes here. 3, 2, 1, and as we lean back, we're going to reach the arms forwards. Bring it in and squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and reach forwards. 3, 2, 1, reach. Let's keep going like that. Making sure that the heel of the hand and the palm are pressing on the ball and not just the fingers. So we feel that engagement throughout the whole arm. Shoulders relaxed, away from the ears. We're squeezing the glute muscles to maintain that pelvic tilt. So the butt doesn't stick out like that. And let's just do one more. And let's come back up. Okay, so now this time we're going to lean back and reach the 2 arms forwards. Reach the arms up overhead. Return the arms forwards and bring it in. You squeeze the ball. Reach the arms forwards, up to the ceiling, back to the center, and squeeze. Reach, up, down, and squeeze. Let's do 3 more. Two. And 1. And release. Very good. Okay, let's leave the ball on this side and let's come to an all fours, into hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and let's just take it to a little cat stretch. Rounding the spine, tucking the tail. Inhale to look up, lengthen, and just very gently arch your spine. Exhale, round. We push the floor away as we do that. And then inhale, looking up. And one more. Good. And now let's set the spine in neutral, halfway between those two. And from here, the right leg is going to stay bent, but we're going to reach the foot up. So the heel is facing towards the ceiling. Now I want you to try to not collapse on your left side much. You're spreading the body weight between the two hands and the knee on the floor. And then from here, we just do a little pulse up and down, pulsing the heel up. Stay connected to your rib cage and your front hip bones, so abdominals engaged. Good, now we're gonna bring the knee all the way into the chest. We're gonna round the spine and we straight the leg back. We get into a bit of an extension there, squeezing the right glute muscles. Draw it in and reach it out. And one more like that. Well done. Okay, so now bring the knee back down, but now this time the leg is gonna go out to the side and then back to the center. So again, we stay connected to the abdominals to stabilize. And then on the next one, we lift, and we can add a bit of a kick. So we kick back, return, and bring the knee back down. Open up, kick. So we have the leg in that external rotation, and then bring it back down. Let's do 3 more. Two. Last one. And bring it in. Good. Let's bring the knees and the ankles together, releasing child's pose for a moment. Let's give those wrists a bit of a circle. Circle the hands to relax those wrists. And if at any point you feel in your wrists too much, you can just fold your mat like that and then bring the heel of the hand down on the edge of the mat as your fingers touch the floor. Okay, so when you're ready, let's come up again. Take the adjustment if you need to. And from here, knees under the hips, lifting the left leg up, we're flexing the foot, connecting with the hips, stabilizing, spreading the body weight, and then we start with that little pulse up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we round the spine, we draw the knee into the chest, and then we lengthen and we reach that leg out. Round, draw it in, and then we reach out. Good. Let's return the knee directly underneath the hip, and then we just open that leg to the side and then back down. To the side and back down. Let's lift that leg and hold it. Now flex the foot and now kick that leg to the diagonal. Bring it back in, drop the knee back down. Open up, reach the leg to the diagonal, and all the way back down. We have 3 more. Two. Last one. And release. Good. Let's take it into child's pose. Give the hands a little roll if we need to. And then bringing the hands wider, just on the edges of the mat. Let's bring the right hand on top of the left, and we give the right side of the body a stretch. Let's take it to the other side, left hand on top of the right, stretching the left side. And back to the center, and then gently walking the hands back. All right, so now we're going to lie down on our stomach on the floor for a bit of postural work. Okay, so we're gonna have the legs wide on the mat, on the edges, and I rather do that. I have a bit of lower back issues, so if you someone that tends to feel your lower back when you do that, then you open up your legs. Otherwise, to make it stronger, you bring your legs together and you squeeze them towards each other. Okay? So from here, forehead down, we press that pubic bone down on the floor. And then what we do is we're just going to lift the right arm and we're going to sweep it back towards the hip. Now keep that there, the palm is facing towards your leg, and then the left arm is going to lift. And you're going to swap it over. So right arm comes forwards, left arm back, and then swap. And then if you want to make it stronger, then both arms are going to go forwards, both arms coming back. We're still controlling the pelvis, lengthening the lower back, lengthening the tailbone away from the spine. And let's do this one more time. And let's reach the 2 hands forwards, one hand on top of the other. Relax the head and the chest down. As we lift the 2 feet off the floor, and then we rock gently from side to side to loosen up that lower back. Good. All right, so setting up again, reaching the 2 arms long on the mat, forehead down, back of the neck lengthens, and then lifting the chest and the head. Now this time we're going to take it into a circle. Now you can do it single arm like we did before, and then return, single arm, or both arms. Reach up towards the ceiling and back towards the hips, up towards the ceiling, and then down towards the floor, but we don't touch the floor. Reach up and back, up and forwards. Let's do one more. And start to even up if you're doing singles. One hand on top of the other, lifting the feet and rocking the legs. Beautiful. We have one more here.
Okay, so straight your legs, reach the 2 arms forwards, forehead down, back of the neck is long. Press your arms firmly, lift your chest and your head. Now this time bring your arms into a T shape to the sides of your shoulders. And then from there, just lift only the arms up to the ceiling and back down, feeling the shoulder blades. Getting closer to the spine. And then spreading away from the spine as we bring the hands down. So let's tap the floor with the fingertips as we lower the arms. Let's lift those arms in a little pose up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach the arms forwards. One hand on top of the other. Lift your feet up. Rock your legs. Good. Let's bring the 2 hands pretty close to the shoulders. Forearms are down on the floor as well. And then we're going to press and lift the head and the chest into a bit of a baby cobra. And if you're ready for the full swan in your lower back, it's okay with this. You straighten your 2 arms and you come up into that full extension. And then slowly bring it down. Let's try not to stay there for too long. We're just flowing into this. Lifting up, and that's on an inhale. Exhale to release back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And the last one. And down. Good. Let's press back to a child's pose. Nice and slow. And here feel free to freestyle a little if you want to rock from side to side. Well done. Let's come back to all fours onto your hands and knees. We're going to lift the left arm towards the side, to the side and up to the ceiling for thread the needle. And then we thread that arm through. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to thread it through. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. And bringing the hand down, right under the shoulder. Right arm lifts. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Bringing the hand down, and now let's sit on the mat facing forwards. And I'm going to mirror you. So let's have the right leg down, and then the left leg crosses over. Good, and then from there we just gently squeeze the leg, and then we sit up a little taller. We squeeze it towards the chest. We might get a stretch on the glute and the hip, and then from there we take it into a twist. And we're going to return to the center. We go to the opposite side. We bring the hands down on the floor, and we bring the left ear sort of down towards the floor. Towards. Until where the spine I think is good. And then let's do that 2 more times. So we twist to the left. And to the other side. Take your left ear down. And one more.
and to the other side. And that's it. Okay, so now let's swap it over. Let's bring the left leg down, the right leg crosses over. Hugging the knee into the chest and trying to reach the two sit bones towards the floor. We feel that stretch on the glute and the hip. And we twist to the right, bringing the right hand behind, looking over the shoulder. And take it to the left, right ear down towards the floor. And we notice any difference between one side and the other. And take it to the right. Twist. We're breathing deeply. And exhale, twist to the other side. And the last one. And twist. And that's all done. Yay!